Right now at noon, the fate of 18-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse is in the hands of a jury. We have team coverage this afternoon looking ahead to what the jury has to decide and how our community is reacting. We begin with our Charles Benson anchoring our coverage in Kenosha.
Good afternoon, Julia. Very active situation out here. Obviously, the jury inside deliberating, but lots of folks out here waiting for that verdict. Over the past few weeks, the Rittenhouse team has argued the teen was acting in self-defense when he shot and killed two men and injured a third during those riots that erupted in Kenosha after the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Now, our Andrea Albers has been out here. She joins me now with a look at what the jury is looking through right now. They've had this case for what, a couple of hours?
Couple of hours now. The 12 jurors who've been selected to hear this case were taken to a secure location by the court bailiffs. They've probably been deliberating for about 2 hours now. Up to this point, the only thing they've requested is extra copies of the jury instructions. Now, right away this morning, Judge Bruce Schrader got right to work narrowing that jury down to 12. 5 men and 7 women, including one person of color, have been selected as the jurors who will decide the fate of Kyle Rittenhouse. An old lottery tumbler that had been sitting on the windowsill in the courtroom was used to randomly cut down the pool of 18. Kyle Rittenhouse himself drew 6 pieces of paper from that tumbler. Each had a number representing a juror. Those 6, 3 men and 3 women, are now alternates and have been instructed by the judge to remain at the courthouse.
There have been rare instances, sometimes in cases you'd recognize by their importance, where jurors have been restored to the jury after having been dismissed. So that is conceivable that would happen in this case. It's not likely, but in fact, it's quite unlikely, but it's possible.
And while they wait, these potential alternate jurors are not allowed to discuss the trial even among themselves. And Charles, back to the 12 that have been selected to deliberate this case. If they have a question for the judge, they'll write that down, hand it to a bailiff. It will be then delivered to the judge.
Was there anything we could read from what they asked already in terms of, you'd think they each would have gotten a copy of this, but was there anything about the copies?
So what we know is that they specifically asked for instructions on pages 1 through 6, which appear to relate to aspects of self-defense.
All right, well, you will keep an eye on things. Andrea, thank you. Now the verdict lies in the hands of those 12 members of the Kenosha community chosen to be on the jury. Now, local attorney and legal analyst Patrick Cafferty explains why this particular case could take some time before we find out the jury's decision.
Once they choose the foreperson starts to direct the group. And oftentimes what they'll do is they'll say, hey, let's go around the room and just take a vote right now and see where everybody is with this. So they can figure out maybe how long they need to be there, who needs to be persuaded to join the consensus and things of that nature. So once they do that, oftentimes people want to see some pieces of evidence again. They may want to look at particular video, they may want to look at particular photographs. But in addition, because there are so many counts and because there's 36 pages of instructions, some of the jurors may want to review the actual written instructions. Some people hear really well and learn through hearing. Some are more visual. They want to read the materials themselves. So given the gravity of the situation and given the number of counts, I expect that at least initially, this is going to take a while before they get into a comfort zone where they can really start to debate.
So some good analysis there from Patrick Cafferty before we even saw the jury go in for deliberations, because that's exactly what happened. The jury has asked specifically for a copy of the instructions. Now, community members are divided on what justice should look like in this case. Our Uba Ali joins us now. She's a little closer to the courthouse where it's a little bit louder as well. And right now, Uba, what can you tell us about the crowd behind you?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Charles. Things are different where I am, but not too far from where you are. However, this crowd behind me is loud and aggressive. But the one thing that really stands out to me is that They all have different opinions on what justice should look like in this case. However, this crowd is also peaceful. While they are loud, things are very peaceful here. Many people are chanting, holding signs, but the one thing that really stood out to me is that people on opposing sides are having conversations about their beliefs and why they came out here today. While those conversations can be hard, some people I spoke to say it's beneficial and that they learned something, but they're not wavering on what right means to them.
I do feel like if they find this boy not guilty, I do feel like they're going to get a repeat of that night. Unfortunately, I don't want to see it. There's a lot of people out here that don't want to see it in Kenosha.
I know he's innocent. I'm going to stand here and say he's innocent. Emotions high at times in front of the Kenosha County Courthouse. Among the protesters, there are Kenosha police and sheriff spreaded across the entire grounds, trying to keep things in order and peaceful. And as of right now, Charles, things are peaceful outside the Kenosha County Courthouse. Live in Kenosha, Uba Ali, back to you.
All right, Uba, thank you. Meanwhile, the National Guard is on standby, and Kenosha Police and the Sheriff's Office say they are ready if any violent protests do break out. In fact, we just heard from the police and the Sheriff's Department. They released a joint statement about 30 minutes ago, and here's part of it. Our departments have worked together and made coordinated efforts over the last year to improve response capabilities to large-scale events. We have also strengthened our existing relationships with state and federal resources. At this time, we have no reason to facilitate road closures, enact curfews, or ask our communities to modify their daily routines. So that is the situation right now. Throughout this trial, throughout the Rittenhouse trial, there have been many people sending threatening emails to Judge Bruce Schroeder. Many of the emails, while critical, some are polite as well, though others are crude and violent. They call for Schroeder's removal from court if not one. One of those emails reads this way, quote, "We will be coming to get him." Other emails and even a few postcards say thank you to the judge for what they call a fair trial. Now, Attorney Jillian Schrager says she has practiced law in front of Schroeder and adds, in cases with so much attention, threats are not unheard of.
So you have people from the outset of this trial and throughout the litigation leading up to the trial who, as a layperson, interpret certain rulings and certain court orders in a way that they believe to be incendiary, that they believe to have certain implications that ultimately are inaccurate.
Now, the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department said it's aware of the threats against Judge Schroeder and is monitoring all emails and letters coming into the court. So we do have multiple crews here in Kenosha all day as we await the verdict. You can also find expanded coverage at tmj4.com.